Differentiate or don't even try. It's really that simple. It is so crowded out there and there's so many people looking for attention. You really have to learn how to differentiate yourself. So this week on Bemodo's AI Power 20 and this whole entire month, we're going to talk about interacting with your audience. So what do you do if you don't have an audience? Well, you go to where the people are. So there are so many different platforms and it depends upon your niche. And in the past Bemodo AI Power 20, that's what we're doing today. In 20 minutes or less, I'm going to show you how to be able to interact with your target market. Make sure you're watching some of my other videos because on those videos, I talk about how to get ultra specific with your niche. You really have to be able to lock into who you're talking to. If you're going to be interesting to them, you sure as heck better learn who you're talking to. So today I'm going to show you a really simple way using Bemodo AI, how you can simply and interestingly interact with your audience. So let's switch over to my monitor here and we're going to go through and I'm going to show you how you can easily interact with your audience using some of these templates that we have in here. So you can see right here that I've created a conversation called social media responses. So all you have to do to make a conversation is come up in here, hit the plus sign, and I already did it beforehand. I want to test a couple things, make it easier and fast so you can understand how to do this. So I'm just going to hit the red bubble here and come into it. And you can see I tested a couple responses already. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my avatar, Jeffrey AI, and I use this for all of my social media. It gives me ideas, and I've trained it for all of the crazy rumblings that are going on inside this head. But more importantly, I've trained it on how I like to respond. So I'm going to go into my template right here, into my avatars. Sorry. I can go to Jeffrey AI right here. And you can see that there's a bunch of editable files. And when you output something really great, all you've got to do is hit this little arrow button right here at the bottom of a conversation. And you can choose whatever avatar you want to send it to. You name it, and then you hit the arrow and it'll send it over. And it's going to use that information in the way that you want it to. And I'll give an example. So I'm going to come in here, right here. You can see if I go into examples of Jeffrey Boyle writing, you can see I've given examples of how I like to respond short, how I like to respond long. And you can also see right inside here, my manifesto of success, how I want people to be successful, how I've trained it about me, and I've also trained it about formula for very successful and memorable content, how to craft a compelling hook. And these are all just from the type of and style of writing that I like to do. The easiest way for you to train your avatar, I'm going to come out of here really quickly, and I'm going to go into templates. Inside of templates, there's right here this avatar trainer. If you follow this through step by step by step, and if you go to bemodo.com right here, you can see under e-learning, I've got how to train your avatar right here. It's really simple. And this is a really key thing to go through this because that way the avatar knows about your target market. It knows about their feelings. It knows about their problems. And now you can go off and get that target market and be interesting to them. So let me give you an example. When you're first starting off, I'm going to go to X, formerly known as Twitter, and I'm going to go to a really controversial guy, Charlie Kirk. I'm not here to tell you how you should vote, what you should do, but he is very controversial. As a result of it, every single time that he posts, he gets 421,000 views and counting on there. So it's really important that when you want to be noticed, especially as you're starting to build your brand, you go off and you find influencers. If you're going to create a list of about 100 influencers, 20 are going to be big guys like Charlie Kirk who have millions of followers, 4.18 million. And then you're going to go off and find a bunch of people that are about your same size. Okay. And I'm going to do this because one of the main things that you're going to do, if he is somebody that where your target market is from, you're going to find people that are in your target market. I picked him because he's very controversial. And it's really important if you want to get noticed that you respond to them quickly and you respond to them in a tone and style that mirrors them and their target audience in the way that they're going to want to be, they're going to want to be talked to. So in business, it's different. And if you're selling a product, you're going to go off and you're going to make that list of people that you want to respond to. So, like I say, about 20% of them are going to be big shots like this, and about 80% of them are going to be people that you're going to want to follow you. Charlie Kirk's not going to follow you unless you're some big shot, some big political person. But underneath here, a lot of these people here, they may follow you if you can be interesting. So let's be interested. Let's just grab his tweet right here. Let's go back into Bemodo. I'm going to go right here and I'm going to search for, I'm going to go in this main area and I'm going to hit all. Okay. And inside of there, I'm just going to type in responses. Okay. So inside of here, there's a lot of different things that you can do, but I'm going to be looking for right here, engaging social media responses. That's inside the type of viral tweet, and it works for all different platforms. Okay, so all you got to do is inside of all type in engaging social media responses, and then I'm going to send it over right into that area I've done. I already tested this beforehand. I want to make sure that everything was working right for you. So I'm just going to type the social media platform, the name of the influencer. I'll just put his first name. I'll just paste in his influencer or that comment that the post that he put. And on here, I'm going to put agree. Okay. But I want it to be noticeable. And then I'm going to put right here, not politically, let's spell it right. I already spelled it wrong. Not politically correct. It should attract attention. So you're going to see that I'm going to be able to knock out a whole bunch of responses very quickly by doing this. Famous business person. So because this is political, it doesn't matter. So if I were a Democrat, I would put Barack Obama. For this one, I do this to make sure that it doesn't run counter to a famous person. So I'm just going to put right here, Donald Trump. Tone of response. This is really important. So I'm going to say, use my avatar. That's why you want to train your avatar. In particular, look at the document. And so I'm going to come into here where all my documents are. And I'm going to put right here, examples of Jeffrey Boyle writing. So I'm just going to grab that right there. Okay. And I'm going to put in there and say, look at these, because I've put a whole bunch of examples inside of that of what I like. And it's a TXT document. Okay. So I'm going to ask it to do 6 responses of 140 characters. And then I'm just going to hit generate. And you're going to see that I'm not going to have to change a lot of those things. And I'm just going to stay political for a bit on this one. And I'm going to find a couple other political people. If you want people to see that you're in there, if you're going to want people to see that, that you respond, you're going to want to respond very quickly. So you can put on, so for example, if we come back to Charlie Kirk, what you'd want to do is that you'd want to put a notice on his right here to notify you. And you want to be one of the first people to do that. So with the big shots, you're going to want to very quickly respond to them if you're on X. On places like LinkedIn, it moves much slower. On Instagram, you'll also probably want to put a notification on there. So if you do this response type of thing to it, and you can see it's, we'll come into the chats right here. You can see that it's given me a bunch of different responses. So right here, spot on, Charlie, the judge ruling is absurd. Why am I okay with it saying absurd? You want it to be something that is not normal. If you're politically correct on these, and it's the same thing too on business, you can say, well, Jeff, how am I gonna do that and not be and on business? Well, it's easy. You don't say we made a lot of money. You say we saved $12,000 by getting rid of our whole entire marketing team. So you have to be able to do things that attract attention. You have to be able to be a little bit controversial on that, and you have to be able to have headlines and titles that really help you help you be interesting with what you're saying. So this one, for example, Charlie, you nailed it. If America is under siege, I didn't even read this. These leftist judges somehow think due process applies to our enemies. Ridiculous. We need action. That is a good response. So let's go back into it, hit respond, and I'll just post, you just hit the post reply, and boom. But this is already quite an old prompt or an old output. This was from 423. You can see that was 4 hours ago when I'm filming this. So people probably won't even see this one. However, if I were to go into the people that I follow, for example, and you'll see a lot of different business people. So Kevin Sabo, he's got really interesting stuff. His was posted 31 minutes ago. Now he has 28.9 thousand followers. It's nice. He doesn't follow a lot of people, but if you're writing business and you're doing for copywriters, he'd be a good one to follow. And once again, he is a top guy, so you'd still want to go and find a lot of people that are about your same size. Gary Vaynerchuk, 57 seconds ago, he posts some of the greatest things. Have a great night. I'm pretty honored that Gary Vaynerchuk follows me. I'm like, man, that's cool. He's got 3 million followers, and little old me, he's following me. It's because I respond to his content, I respond to his videos, and I use this really simple way of doing it. So what's nice about this is what I really recommend that you do is that you read your responses before you post them on there. Really lame responses will not get you attention. And it doesn't matter where you're at. And you're probably also going to have to get sometimes people mad at you. So, for example, this morning, I wrote something. I'm not here to offend anybody with on my videos, but when I write what I believe, which is I believe very much in a certain type of law. And I had so many people mad at me that on this today, I had 50 people like me, 4,700 views, but then I had a lot of people say a lot of mean things to me. Fine. I don't care because I feel good about what I say. I feel good about what I post. And if people are going to get offended by that, so be it. So if you want to be somebody online, you're going to have to be interesting. You're going to have to be authentic. You're going to, then this just posts, and I'll show you in future ones. This just posted. And, today, let's see what's happened with my posts, because I post on X 12 to 15 times per day. My first post of the day did okay, 5,000 views, 52 likes. And then the other ones, this one just went through. And the other ones, I'm getting lots of just, bit by bit as it grows, as I started to build this platform on X. So my point today is, if you're going to engage your audience, but you have to do it sometimes with a bit of controversy. You have to do it in a way that's going to really be authentic to you. If you're not opinionated, well, don't be opinionated. Be super, super valuable. If you go to YouTube, there's a guy that I love on YouTube, and he's never controversial, but he's super, super valuable. So if you go to Squat University and you see what he does, he has 6 million followers because he is the most interesting guy in talking technique, how to fix back pain. He's never controversial, but he's super, super helpful. So if you have an expertise where you can start to engage with people, then do that. But if you're in an area such as marketing, where there's a lot of people that they're out there marketing, I have to be able to be critical and very positive and very strong in my opinion on what I'm doing. And what it does is it helps me build my tribe. And there is no easier way of doing it than with Bemodo. So I'll just go back and I'll do one more for you, and I'll keep it in there. Let's find. I always like to respond to Alex Ramosi. He also has some big ones. I know it's going to be late to respond to him. So let's look what he posted here. When you change your goal from achievement to who you become while pursuing achievement, you switch from winning every 10 years to winning every day. So I'm just going to grab that, go back into Bemodo. Let's go back into the template. You're going to see that I don't have to do a lot of changing on that. So I'll just put his first name. I'll put that response in there, and I'm going to put agree. I don't even have to change it, even though it's not on it's on business. So this one I like to follow Elon Musk on his business. I've read his books. I think he's very impressive. I'm going to make this one longer, 280 characters, which is too much, by the way. Then all I've got to do is hit generate. Now, this would enable me, because I'm going to keep almost everything the same, because if I'm just going through and changing and talking to business people, all I have to do is change the name of the influencer, post that what they posted on X on there, and then this is going to be the same. You may want to change your filter. That way it doesn't contradict it. And if you have a virtual assistant, this would ensure that virtual assistant is not going to post something that disagrees with a very famous celebrity. That way you make sure that if you are, especially if you're doing politics or if you're in business and you agree with the politics of some of the different people, you'll want to make sure that is almost like the fact checker for you before it goes out. And then from there, it's given me a bunch of them on here. So I guess I should read what I'm about to respond to. When you change your goal from achievement to who you become while you pursue an achievement, you should switch from winning every 10 years to winning every day. Yeah, that's cool. So 100% agree, Alex. It's not about the applause you get once in a while. It's about cultivating a mindset daily. Start winning now. I always like it. Sometimes AI will still put an apostrophe in there. Be careful with those, and especially emojis. I've programmed this not to do emojis. Even though I respond to some people with 100%, and then I really respond to them with this. I highly recommend that you read these. That way, when you read them, it should sound like you. And if you need to make basic changes, you're going to do it. So I'm just going to copy that. I'm going to come in. Let's respond to him. I'll put on there, totally agree, Alex. I'm going to put a space between it. Focus on the goals flips the game. If you ain't, that's wrong. I'll never say ain't. If you aren't evolving every day, you're just waiting to fade away. So I just need to make sure on that one, since this is brand new trained avatar, that I go in and I say never use the word ain't. Those are the type of things that you can go and really make sure that it's in there. So I'll focus on a goal of achievement flips the game. If you aren't evolving every day, you're just fading. You're just waiting to fade away. So that's really good. So I wouldn't be embarrassed by that one. I'll give him a heart. But the real magic comes when you're responding to good people. So let's go into a couple different people here that I follow, and we're going for me. Let's go to the new ones. And Brad Lee, best revenge is indifference. Nothing bothers a drama addict more than being ignored. Great post. See how he's controversial with that. And so I'll come in. I'll change the name right here to Brad. Now I'm just going to post or just put the new one in there. All the rest of it stays the same. I like to keep my responses shorter. And so I'm going to go 140 characters. That's a fairly short response, but it should give me a good way to respond to Brad. And you can just knock out a bunch of these. The Sticky Bush does cool stuff. This Atlas guy has great content. So in a matter of 15 to 20 minutes, I can just go through and knock out a bunch of comments very quickly. But I always make sure that I feel good about them before they do it. So best revenge, just I'm going to have to work on my avatar here. I must have given it a little bit too much sauce. And so I know that damn's not that bad of a word, but I try to avoid it. But let's see. Spot on, Brad. Drama addicts can't stand being ignored. Your indifference is their kryptonite. Stay away above the frame and watch them crumble. It's pretty good. Once again, you can see that I gave a lot of zest to this guy. So that's a short tweet. So my response is probably a little bit long. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to get rid of that one. And boom, your indifference is their kryptonite. Stay above the fray and watch them crumble. So that's a good response. It's zippy, and it's, it agrees with the guy. I'll give him a like. And so there's a lot of people like this that in a matter of 15 to 20 minutes, I can start attracting people. I can start attracting likes. I can start to You can see a lot of people, I interact with them all the time now. We're going back and forth and we have good conversations and we support each other with this. So about 80% of the people as you're starting to build your audience online are going to be people about your size that you can interact with. If they don't follow you and don't interact them, then cut them off. That's the AI Power 20 for this week, guys. It is super easy to do. I can't wait to see you every Wednesday. Make sure you hit the like on this and you share it with somebody that can help them build their business. We are in this to build it together, and I can't wait to see you on the live Q&A every Wednesday at 2 o'clock. See you then.